In times of crisis, women have always been at the forefront of social justice, social reform, and freedom. From the struggles of apartheid in South Africa to the civil rights movement in the United States, women have always driven this cause forward. Now, taking this spirit onward are Malaysian women who are standing in solidarity with Gazan women today. Now, joining us in today's episode of the Palestinian Diaries is Chairperson of the Malaysian Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine, Zuraidah Kornain. I'm thankful for having you here.
Yeah,
Just wanted to ask you.
for having me.
No worries. Just wanted to ask you about the MWCQP. I've been told that they have issued a coordinated, a letter to several embassies in recognition of their joint statement towards the struggle in Gaza.
Yeah.
What prompted this initiative, may I ask?
Oh, okay. So thank you. Actually, this is just a show of solidarity to the six countries, actually, the European Union countries, namely Spain, Luxembourg, Malta, Norway, Ireland, and Iceland. So we just want to show our solidarity and appreciate every little move that they do, in supporting the struggle in Gaza. So that's actually was the motivation. Was the motivation for us to send a letter to these embassies. So it is a show of solidarity, and actually in Malaysian Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine, we have come up with our house of strategy, and one of our pillar is to bring about the Malaysian women's voices towards in the international platform. So we see that this is an opportunity for us to be visible in the international arena.
Right.
So, yeah.
Just wanted to elaborate on how Malaysian women's voices are being visible in the international scene.
Right.
How successful have you been in bringing Malaysian women's voices forward? To may say the European Union and everywhere around the world.
Okay. So Alhamdulillah, I think bringing about Malaysian women voices to the international level does not only mean having a speaking engagement at the international level. So we also participated in Women's Boat to Gaza. Right. One of our, Dr. Fauziah Muhammad Hassan, who is our honorary advisor, she was on the Women's Boat to Gaza in 2016. Right. So the boat is consisting of 12 ladies, international from America, from other parts of the world, and Dr. Fauziah was the doctor of that team, and they were just about 35 nautical miles from the Gaza beach, and they were intercepted by the Israeli forces, and Dr. Fauziah was actually put into Israeli prison. So that also part of our activity from the Malaysian Women's Coalition to voice out our concern, our sympathy, and actually put our sympathy and transform our sympathy into actions. Right. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that we only have writing letters. So we also, mind you, we also send protest notes to a few embassies, especially the Embassy of United States of America. So we sent when 7 October, when Gaza was first attacked, and in 7 October 2023. So we prepared a protest note to the U.S. Embassy, and also we sent the letter also to British High Commission, and we went to the United Nations office in Putrajaya. Besides that, we also went to Saudi Arabia, or Kingdom of Saudi Arabia embassy, and also to the Egyptian embassy, and we rally in front of the Egyptian embassy saying that please open the Rafah border. So those are a few examples of how we bring about Malaysian women's voices into the international arena.
I especially I hope Dr. Fauziah is okay now.
Yeah, she's back. That was in 2016.
Yeah, but it leaves a mark in someone's life.
Correct.
Right? I see.
Yeah, correct.
So just to expand more on the letter itself, about the letter that rallied, all the embassies. I just wanted to ask you, you've made it clear in the letter that this wasn't about, giving praise to, these embassies that are taking action, but more about affirming their stance in, principled diplomacy. So can you elaborate more on that and what you feel the MWCQP has done for this?
Okay. I would like to share our experience. We went to the Spanish embassy and we met the Spanish ambassador,
right.
and he actually very interested, and upon seeing our letter, so he said that he will bring this letter to his government. So we are so surprised and we really appreciate. So, but what he told us really struck me, and saying that this is not an outstanding effort, or this is just normal. So that is what he mentioned about the letter. So we also want to say that to stress our points that the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, and the ICC, International Criminal Court, they have actually issued, several decisions to actually punish Israel, but that has been denied. So all resolutions by the United Nations, and even decision made by ICJ and ICC is not being enforced. So we do not this kind of double standard, double standard. So that's why we say that we want justice, we want principles to be implemented throughout the nations. Please do not practice double standard. So when Israel launched attacks on Gaza, we called the international community called that as act of self-defense.
Right.
But when the Palestinian act in resistance, they call that as act of terrorism. So that is double standard. So we do not want that to happen. Mm-hmm.
So I do like that you said that there is a double standard in today's international state, where the world views the acts that Palestinians do as, acts of terrorism, but the same cannot be said for Israel.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to circle back on the statement that the Spanish ambassador said.
Mm-hmm.
He said that this was a normal occurrence for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time that the MWCQP has, rallied or spoken out to the Spanish embassy?
Yeah, that was
the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time. We usually send our protest notes to the U.S. Embassy and the British High Commission, right? So, and to the European Union countries, that was our first time. So besides Spain, we also had audience with the Norway, the Royal Norwegian Embassy. So we had a brief session with the staff, to just explain what the content of our letter. Mm-hmm.
There is a hope there that the Spanish embassy has accepted your letter and also met the MWCQP.
Yeah.
What hopes do you have in driving this cause for Israeli women, Israeli children, Palestinian women, Palestinian children, and Palestine in general? Mm-hmm. What hopes do you have? What hopes do the MWCQP have? In driving this cause forward? Now that the international eyes are now on the MWCQP.
Oh, we really hope that our voices are being heard. Our voices are being heard, and we need to do more, actually. So we need, Daniel, so we need to do more on this. So, sending protest notes, sending letters to the respective embassies is just a little thing that we can do. So actually, there is a lot more things to do, and a lot more hope, and I would say many other things that need to be done, for us to help in this struggle to liberate Palestine and Al-Aqsa.
Right. So when we're talking about the the letter, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a very momentous moment for the MWCQP, right? Because finally, a big nation like Spain has finally heard our voices, right?
Right.
So, but looking back at the context of Malaysia, the letter was endorsed by multiple Malaysian MPs, multiple Malaysian NGOs, and all that prominent individuals, right?
Yeah.
What does this collective voice represent in the broader context of Malaysian civil society?
Right. Alhamdulillah. This is not the first I would say letter, or we have come up with a few press statements before this, and we actually we usually circulate our letter for the MPs, for other NGOs to sign or endorse, in support of our statement. So Alhamdulillah, this time around, a few MPs, NGOs, and also influencers,
right,
individuals, actually endorse the letter as well. So we see this as a concerted effort. As the strong, the more the better. We see everyone in support of this struggle. So MWCQP believe that we cannot work in silo. We cannot work all by ourselves. We need to garner support from every Malaysians, if possible, towards this struggle. So that's why every time when we issue a letter or press statements, usually we will circulate this to get awareness. To get the awareness so that everybody is on the same page, keep abreast with the latest what happened in Palestine, and give support towards the struggle, inshallah.
I understand that MWCQP has have garnered a lot of support, momentous support from the Malaysian MPs, the NGOs, and all that. But I also want to ask. There's this trend of increasing trend of the Gen Zs struggling to get their voices heard. So especially women and Malaysian women that are, from the Gen Z and all that. And I feel like the MWCQP might be a good avenue for women's voices from the Gen Z to be heard, to be boosted, especially in regards to the Gaza situation, right? So how do you feel in the MWCQP, boosting the voices of the younger generation?
Oh, okay. So I can understand your question, your concerns about this. So that's we are quite active with our social media. We have our Facebook, and maybe Gen Z do not go into Facebooks.
We rarely do.
But we do have our Instagrams, and to reach out to this Gen Z, the younger generations. So we are quite active with that. We always schedule our status, taking advantage into the prominent dates, which is very significant to the Palestinian culture. So that's how we actually reach out to the Gen Z, and we really hope that Gen Zs, the younger generations, also come and be together with us, so that the Gen Y, the older generation, are very very happy to see the younger generation is also looking into these issues. So my concern is, as a woman, as a mother, as a grandmother, I am very concerned about the values, humanitarian values. If you see what happened in here nowadays, what Israel has been doing, it's speechless. The brutalities, the whatever, no humanitarian values can actually explain what they have been doing. So I'm very concerned about the next generation. My grandchildren, my great grandchildren. Maybe what sort of reference are they taking if we allow this to happen? So that actually be our main motivation to work in this cause, to instill back justice and to fall back to the correct reference of humanity.
As a Gen Z myself, I also, feel this concern that, the atrocities that we're seeing, happening in Gaza is just unspeakable. It's unthinkable to think that these things are happening to human beings in general.
Right.
And I feel like, the collective Gen Z, everyone in Malaysia and also around the world knows how bad this thing is.
Correct.
But as you said before, and also as many think, our voices are being silenced, our voices are being muted because we don't have an avenue to, speak out about these atrocities.
Okay.
And I am glad that MWCQP is, one of these avenues that are continuing to push, this fight forward, right? So,
Daniel, I think we have we should encourage the younger generation also to use every avenues that we have. Speak out. You mentioned speak out just now. Yes, speak out. Maybe you should bring this issue to the street, join the rallies, and be innovative and creative in in cascading the information, and also speak up and write in your social media. Yeah.
Of course, as the NGOs write in letters, we write in social media.
Right.
We'll both fight, fight this fight together as well.
Alhamdulillah.
So I just wanted to ask you, as a women-led coalition, right? How do you see, your role in standing up to, for those most affected by this conflict, from a women's perspective?
Okay. So I think as women, whatever happened in Gaza, 75% of the victims are women and children. 75%. So being women, being mother, being a grandmother, so I guess we can relate to whatever happened in Gaza, the sorrow, the pain that they are experiencing. So that was actually the motivation for us to do more, to help and assist our Palestinian over there. So if you talk to them, if you talk to the Palestinian women, be it in Gaza or be it in the diaspora or even in Malaysia, you don't even hear that they are asking sympathy from us. No, they are talking about their dignity, they are talking about freedom, they are talking about accountability. Yeah, so that is the kind of justice or the kind of voices that we want to hear. We do not, they do not ask us to pity them, to sympathize on them. So, however, being women, we can relate. I guess only women can understand women better. Yeah, so that is the...
I just want to, I noticed that you said something interesting, that they don't want pity. They don't want, your tears and all that. Because they still have their dignity. Right. Because, I think Palestinians know that around the world that people see their struggle because the atrocities that are happening, because it is broadcasted worldwide, 24/7. Every single news station is talking about it. Yeah. And people know that these women, these children, and these Palestinians are struggling. But you clearly said that they don't want your pity, but they want you to uphold their dignity, their honor and all that. So can you elaborate more on, what makes a woman, uphold their dignity in spite of the atrocities that are happening towards them?
I think our YouTube or whatever videos that we have been seeing nowadays, when you see women in Palestine, in Gaza especially, when when they receive news or about the shuhada among their relatives, among their children, husbands, maybe, they cried. But however, they did not say something. I mean, what they utter is just hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. You know, so that shows how strong they are, how resilient they are. And I would like to bring about one a personality, Dr. Abir An-Najjar. So she lost 9 of her children. Her house has been bombed, targeted, because both of them are medical doctors, the husband and the wife. So she was actually working in the hospital, and then her house has been bombed, and they brought in 9 bodies of his children. So looking and embracing the bodies of her children, that's it. And then she went back to work. So that's how resilient they are. Towards this. Okay,
I feel like, seeing your children being brought in body bags, 9 of them, and still having the courage to,
go back to work.
Because, there are thousands of others that are, still struggling. It speaks to, the resilience that she has, and God bless her, God bless Doctor. She finds the strength to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So moving on, I would just like to, ask, about, some might see these, international crises and all that as, distant, because it's not happening in front of our doorstep, right? We live in Malaysia. We're thousands of miles away from Palestine. But like, how would you explain, the emotional, so to speak, emotional bond or emotional trauma that you would feel, even though you're looking at this through, a screen, all that? How would you feel, especially for women? Because as we all know, that you are, the MWCQP is, bring this fight forward. So how would women feel about this emotional bond that they have with Palestinian women, seeing through the screen happening, thousands of miles away?
We have this moral obligation. Yeah, so as women, so like I said just now, only women can understand women, and we can relate whatever pain and sorrow that they are facing. So that is one part of the, and the other is about our faith. Yeah, our faith. We have the belief. Rasulullah SAW mentioned that. If one part of your body is in pain, the rest of your body feels the same pain, right? So that is what we feel. That is what we feel. So even though it's distant, it's far away from us, but we do have this faith, the same belief that we are connected to each other. And the third factor is about humanity. Humanity do not recognize different religion, different race, different skin color. So you want to uphold justice, right? So you do not base on skin color, or even it is far away. It is, you have that moral obligation to help them. So I think there's no reason, even though we are far away from Palestine, we still can help them. So I think for MWCQP in Ramadan 2025, the last Ramadan, we launched a campaign. We called it the Oven Project. So we targeted about 50,000 ringgit Malaysia. Not much, not 50,000 US dollar. It's just 50,000 ringgit Malaysia to sponsor our Palestinian mothers over there, to help them to build oven made of mud. Right, yeah, and sponsor flour to make the bread. And Alhamdulillah, it was only yesterday we received a video from Gaza showing that the project has been implemented successfully, and we saw with our very own eyes how the children of Gaza tasted hot bread, freshly baked bread. So that really, the video, I think the video touched many hearts, and inshallah we will be extending this campaign. So I think this is a very successful project. So that is only one part of it, to show our concern and extend our assistance to the Palestinian in Gaza.
I see. That is very, to see your own work, being successful,
Right.
especially since, the Gaza blockade is happening and
Yes.
children are being starving there, right?
Yes.
Women are being starving there. So to see them finally eat bread,
Right.
and eating, one of the things that they've sorely missed, it is very good to see, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Speaking of campaigns, though, I wanted to ask: does the MWCQP have any other campaigns that are on the horizon, maybe, in regards to Gaza?
Okay. Campaigns. Okay. Maybe I can share a few examples. MWCQP is consisting of about 20, nearly 20 NGOs with us. It is a coalition, Malaysian Women's Coalition. So because we strongly believe that we can synergize and collaborate with the rest of the NGO. So one of our NGOs, Halwan, they are very consistent in promoting. They have been conducting Al-Quds camps for the children.
Right.
So that is also, we work joint venture, we collaborate, and then we also promote this as our campaign to educate the children. It has to start at a very young age to understand whatever happened in Palestine. So besides that, we have our Rose to Rose or Humanitarian Care Malaysia, My Care. So they actually conducted high tea to garner support or a donation drive to buy prosthetic limbs for the children. Yeah, so victims are mainly children and women. So the children, they are being targeted. They shoot the legs so that they cannot walk. The hands, they cannot. So the Rose to Rose and Humanitarian Care Malaysia, My Care, so actually they are very active in having a donation drive for this prosthetic limbs. Yeah, so those are the campaigns. We have many other like Chakna Palestine, also conducting Swim with Gaza. So Swim with Gaza. Swim with Gaza when during those peaceful years, the Gaza family, they took their families to the beach and enjoy the scenery, teach their children how to swim. So every August of the year, so they do that. So Malaysian Women's Coalition, in collaboration with Viva Palestina Malaysia, so one of our NGO member, so we conducted Swim with Gaza. In 2024, we organized that program in Putrajaya Lake. Last year, 2024, we had 2 sessions of Swim with Gaza. One with Chakna Palestine, Chakna Palestine in Pantai Bacok, Kota Baru, Kelantan, and the other with My Care in Port Dickson. So those are a few campaigns that we do to actually promote awareness on Palestinian issues.
I'm especially, awed and amazed by the prosthetic limbs and all that, because, like you said, 75% of women Gaza are being targeted, right? Are being the casualties of this, this ongoing apartheid.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that even though in times where like there is a relative peace, Gaza is still in the minds of the MWCQP, and the Swim with Gaza, right?
Yeah, Swim with Gaza.
So I like that we still think about Gaza, even though there are still in times of peace, right?
Yes.
Especially like for an activity that is very fun.
Yeah.
Personally, going to the beach is very fun, especially in times of war where you rarely see these sights of families going to the beach with with the children and their families and all that. So I really like that Gaza is doing that.
Swim with Gaza campaign is taken internationally.
Internationally,
Yeah,
I see.
internationally. Most countries will do that. Will organize that program.
So I just wanted to ask you about Gaza in general. I wanted to ask you, right? What lessons can we draw from these past struggles, particularly in sustaining momentum and hope for the future?
Okay. What we can learn from the struggle in Gaza, first and foremost, is their resistance, their resilience. And we know that to make about change do not take overnight. So it really, we have to persevere. We have to, it's a journey, a very long journey. So we really hope we learn from what the people of Gaza, the people of Palestine, is their resistance, their resilience, and also their innovativeness and their creativeness. You imagine now at the state of I hate to use war, because this is not war. This is an attack, by the Israel. When you say war, is between two countries who has the same strength, same capabilities. But this is not war. Yeah, it's a genocide. At this point in time, you can see that how when I shared with you the stories about the oven projects, so they don't have an electric oven, so they made up ovens made of mud. Right? Yeah. So, and you can see that they generate electricity by using solar, and even they cycle. I think you are Gen Z. You do not know that we can actually produce electricity by using the dynamo from the
dial-up.
Yeah. So that is what they have been doing to generate electricity. They cycle, and so those are the lessons that we can learn from the people of Palestine, from the people of Gaza. But most I think you can see that I would like to share that what we see in Gaza, in Palestine, are examples of what akhlaq, of attitude that is a synonym with the Islamic teachings.
For Gen Zs out there, maybe the Gazan struggle is the epitome of the human spirit, the human resilience and the human human spirit to keep moving forward despite everything that is going on through you, right? So I do believe that I wouldn't want to exaggerate, but the Gazans are the epitome of the humans, that the shining examples of humans that we have today, and the resilience and the strength and all that.
Yes.
So just wanted to ask you about the MWCQP, right? And we're talking about women's talk about the overall struggle and human spirit. We've seen this struggle in South Africa, where they are struggling against apartheid, and we also see this in civil rights movements in the United States and all that. So we also now see this in the MWCQP, where they are moving, they are standing in solidarity with the Gazan women and Gaza in general. So I just wanted to ask you, how do you see, the MWCQP as part of this legacy, as part of this fight for justice?
So we do not want to miss the boat.
Right.
We want to be together. It is history in the making. We have the belief that Palestine will be free. Yeah, Palestine will be free. So we want to be part of history, and we want to be at the right side of history. So, women has been fighting injustice, like you said, in South Africa against the apartheid, and also in America against the civil rights. Yeah. So closer to home, we can share an example of one personality in Aceh. So she is from Aceh, by the name of Admiral Kamala Hayati, or maybe you can Google Mala Hayati,
Right.
Kamala Hayati or Mala Hayati. She was the first women admiral.
Right.
And she led a group of women, group of widows who the husbands has been killed in the war. So she led this troop, which she called Inong Balai. Yeah, and they actually fought against the Dutch, against the colonials, and Admiral Kamala Hayati killed the leader, the Houtsman. Yeah, so that is closer to home. Yeah, so which we can take the spirit. And then I did mention about the courageous Dr. Fauziah Muhammad Hassan, who actually on board the women's boat to Gaza. And just a few weeks ago, a few of our members, I'm not going to mention names, actually took part in the march to Rafah, march to Gaza.
Right.
Yeah, so the Sumut, and they went to Egypt, and then they face up to the Egyptian forces, and because they are trying to get into Gaza, try to make to open the Rafah border. So those are the few examples that I can share with you. Whatever we want to be part of the legacy, So is everywhere along the generation that you can see that women actually champion this cause. Mm-hmm.
So you want to be on the right side of history.
Yes.
I like that quote because numerous times history has been rewritten, as they say. History is written by the victors, right? And unfortunately for Palestine, although we will see that Palestine will be free, as of now they are still struggling. They are still in this struggle of this genocide that is happening towards them. But as you said, history will be written by the victors, and hopefully the victors will be the ones that are on the side of justice.
Inshallah.
So just wanted to ask you about when it comes to standing on the right side of justice or on the right side of history, are there ways how are the ways that we can also move forward and participate in this fight for freedom, fight for justice, especially for women in Malaysia? So are there any alternatives? Are there any mediums that we could Malaysian women could access so that they can have their voices heard, so they can participate in this fight for justice?
So I guess the viewers can. There are many avenues here in Malaysia. If you talk about the fighting in this cause to liberate Al-Quds and Palestine. So Malaysian Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine is just a small coalition, and we are also a member to the Asia Pacific Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine. So the members are namely Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Maldives. So only 4 countries. So we are, Alhamdulillah, Malaysia has been appointed as the Dr. Fauziah has been appointed as the president
national hero
for the for the Asia Pacific. We are the successor from Indonesia. So the Malaysian Women's Coalition has to be the secretariat, to support this. So MWCQP is very active in Asia Pacific Women's Coalition and also the Global Women's Coalition. So you can see that from country, we go to the region, to the Asia Pacific region, and to global. So actually working for this cause, we are actually work in tandem with the rest of the world. You are not alone. Right? You are not alone, and you are not the first one to do this kind of to do this kind of job. So, being in the Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine, we try to coordinate and be visible with our name. And I guess the viewers, you can join any programs. We advertise our programs via social media, and also we haven't get the maybe via this right. Palestinian Diaries. So besides MWCQP, believe me, there are many other avenues, many other NGOs. Or you can set up your own NGO, Gen Z. Come on,
right.
to
fight forward with our own two hands, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So Alhamdulillah.
So I just wanted to ask you, finally, as a final question, to wrap things up, I would just wanted to ask you, is there a message that you want to share to everyone, especially in the pits of despair that we see that are happening to the Gaza women and children? What keeps you going? Is there a message that you resonate with to keep you going and to keep having hope?
So it's an end already.
It's an end, unfortunately.
I think it's a journey. It's a long journey.
Right.
So we do not know when Palestine will be free. But we have this belief, a strong belief, that Palestine will be free. So from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Yeah. So just bear with us, have hope, and ask from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala that this will materialize. If not in our generation, maybe in the next generation. So we should have that belief. So there are many avenues. There are many avenues. One interesting joint collaboration that we have, MWCQP has done, is with the Malaysian, with the experts, the psychiatrists and the clinical psychologists. When Gaza was first attacked, so it really, many students, Palestinian students here in Malaysia were affected. Right. So they're really concerned about their families in Gaza. So what we did was we became the bridge, to connect these experts, the psychiatrists and the clinical psychologists, to the Palestinian students. So these experts, they formed the Malaysian Psycho-Spiritual Support for Palestine, MPS4P, and we became the bridge to connect them with the Palestinian families here in Malaysia. So I guess there are a lot more avenues, a lot more opportunities for you to be at the right side of history, and especially we in Malaysian Women's Coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine encourage the younger generation to come forward. If you can make your own coalition, the youth coalition for Al-Quds and Palestine, and speak up. Silence is complicity. Right. Yeah, so we do not want that to happen, and we really hope that the younger generation can take an active part in this struggle, inshallah.
Silence is complicity. So that wraps up for today's episode. Thank you very much, Puan Zuraidah, for agreeing to join us in this episode of Palestinian Diaries.
Thank you.
And for our viewers at home, as Puan Zuraidah said, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to follow our social medias, and don't forget to follow Sinar Daily. Thank you very much.